Good morning. I'm Phil Lamar. I'm with the mediation firm, Positive Solutions Group. I'm here this morning with Robin Mixad, and we're very appreciative for this opportunity to bask in the AIP spotlight. And we're also very appreciative for the referrals that we've received from members of this group. Thank you. Let me tell you a story. A very wealthy couple decided to leave millions of dollars in assets to their 3 children equally. This would have been really easy if their assets had all been cash. But commercial real estate, rental homes, parents' homes, valuable antiques, farms, horses, barns, planes, boats, cows are not easily divided into 3 equal shares. So conflict arose over who was going to get what and the value of particular pieces of the assets. And there were questions raised like, is the property near the river worth more than the property near the mountain? And then there were the emotional and relationship issues, such as, Daddy always wanted me to have while I was taking care of Mother in her last days, you all were out having fun and making a lot of money, so I deserve more. So there you have it. The issues at stake here were, 1, the division of the property in a fair and equitable way, and 2, the relationships between these adult children, which was already strained when they walked in our door. So what can be done? What can these kids do to handle these issues? Well, they could go to a lawyer and to a court and litigate. And that would take care of the division of the property because the judge would do it for them. They wouldn't have control over it. The judge would have control over it. And what about the relationship issue? Well, the judge would decide, and probably the losers in the case would become angry, resentful, and angry. Well, I said angry, bitter, and they would probably be pitted against the winners in the case for the rest of their lives. And the third element here, the cost of litigation in a case like this, probably $100,000 or more. 3 parties, 3 lawyers, let's figure $250 an hour. That's $750 an hour for these guys. And there would be lots of hours in this case because there were so many things to deal with. But fortunately for them, their parents' financial advisor knew about mediation, sent them to us. We mediated several times over the course of a year. They reached an agreement, and there were tears and hugs all around, and there were even a couple for me, which was very gratifying. So the benefits of mediation, in addition to the hugs, were mediation can save and restore relationships. So if there's a case that involves relationships, such as estate issues, divorce, and yes, divorce is not just for the young anymore, cases arising over the care of aged parents, mediation is a very good place to go. Secondly, mediation leaves the parties in control over the outcome of the issues. Third, mediation can save the parties hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. And finally, mediation usually results in a satisfactory outcome for everyone, not just someone. Now, to be completely honest with you, mediation does not always end well, only about 90% of the time. So what is this mediation process? Basically, mediation is a facilitated negotiation. The mediator is a facilitator. And in the process itself, each party tells, emotes, vents his, her story, and then the mediator makes sure that everybody heard it, everybody understood what was said, and then he or she, the mediator, works with the parties to identify and resolve the issues. And then the mediator writes the agreement. Does that sound pretty easy? Pretty dull? It's not. It's neither. The mediator. At Positive Solutions Group, we're all trained, experienced professionals. We use techniques that have been proven to help people communicate so they can overcome impasse and reach an agreement. At Positive Solutions Group, we all are college educated or better, master's, law, that sort of thing. We're all certified by the Supreme Court to mediate. But in addition to that, we have many hours of experience mediating. It's not just the training. And we also, all of us, bring to the table life experience, which is very helpful in mediating. Robin, with a background from Harvard and MIT, has been a university administrator at the Universities of Texas and Virginia, and she was a teacher as well. And my partner, James Dittmar, is a businesswoman. She was also the president of this Chamber of Commerce for 10 years. And her husband, Frank, thank you, is with the Chamber. And she's also a candidate for the Scottsville seat of the Board of Supervisors. And can't help but think having a mediator in their midst would be a marvelous thing. Chuck Keel is a retired insurance executive. And my background, 3 years of law school, 23 years with a large national legal publishing company, negotiating complex contracts and as well as internal disputes. And then about 10 years practicing law and mediation. So, our fees. There is no charge for the initial consultations, and that's not just 15 minutes. We're talking about multiple parties, and then they're lawyers often. So we talk to all those people. And then once we're in mediation, we charge approximately $250 an hour, but that's shared by the parties. So if there are two parties, that's $125. If there are three parties, it's 80-something. If there are four parties, it's 60-something an hour. Compare that to the cost of litigation. I think you can see economic reason to use mediation.
The bigger the fight, the cheaper it gets.
Indeed. So, thank you for listening. We'd be happy to take your questions. And so.